at Wasatch is James Balstead. The principal is Todd Johnson. And now let's meet the starting lineup for the designated home team, the Corner Canyon Chargers.
Welcome into the D Event Center on the campus of Weber State University for the first round of the 5A Boys Basketball Tournament. Brought to you on live.ksl and DeseretNews.com. Our first matchup of the day, the Wasatch Wasps, the number 3 seed out of Region A, taking on the number 2 seed out of Region 7, the Corner Canyon Chargers. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Dane Stewart here, joined by Dusty Litster. And Dusty, we've got a really great and intriguing matchup to start off this 5A tournament.
Well, absolutely. And I think what's interesting is talking with Coach Dan Lunt is how similar the end of their year was to last year and that team that made that run to the state championship game. And for Corner Canyon, it's a matter of can they put the last loss behind them. We asked Coach Lunt about that, and he said, well, we'll find out when the starts. He's like, all I can tell you is we've had a good week of practice, and they feel right. Here for Wasatch, I think it's interesting, Coach Balstead telling us, hey, this is the first state tournament my players have been in. And that was kind of something that took us back for a minute. Think, oh, wow, that's true, because we remember Wasatch in 3A being a team that perennially was contending. And so a whole new atmosphere for them, and to understand how to play in this tournament is going to be very interesting to see which team shows up faster.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And when you look at these Wasatch Wasps, they've got a junior scorer in Will Harris, and you got to watch out for number 35. He's led the team in scoring all year, and Coach Balstead said, hey, sometimes he gets so anxious, we got to find a way to help keep him settled in this ball game and stick to our game plan. As Corner Canyon in the white uniforms controlling the tip. Here's Hayden Welling, a pull-up from 10, and that shot able to drop for Welling.
And a good start here for Hayden Welling. Hayden's one of these guys that can make a major impact, and a lot of times you have got to get him going early and not allow him to get lost in the flow of the ball game.
This is Gehring in the paint, blocked away by Welling.
And you see there where Welling can really make a difference in this game on both ends of the floor. That height is one thing. It's the mobility of Hayden Welling that becomes really his biggest asset.
This is just a 2. That shot off the front of the rim, and the rebound controlled by Luke Warnock. And up the floor quickly, there's Mr. Gabe Toombs.
Gabe was one of our favorite players a year ago. Young man that earned his way to starter minutes as a junior. His senior year has been very, very strong for Coach Dan Lunt.
We've got a foul here up top. This is going to go on Ross.
And Trace Ross, just a sophomore for Coach Lunt. A very good basketball player, played a little bit last year.
Great scorer. And, you know, for the first part of this year, John Mitchell was not on the team, and it was Ross that really stepped up and kind of carried that load. And Mitchell joined the squad after football had ended, won a state championship. And, boy, that's a benefit for Corner Canyon, having John Mitchell, who was so integral on that run last year to the championship for Corner Canyon. Is up the floor quickly, and this is Ross on the drive, floats it off the glass, won't go, and it's out of play. It'll stay here with Corner Canyon.
Well, remember last year he didn't play in the state tournament. Remember he left to focus on football.
No, Mitchell was here for the state tournament.
Do I remember that?
Yeah, it was after the tournament.
Oh, you're right.
He had focused, but because all that defense was, I mean, he was generating steals to no end at half court. And
that's right.
Here's Mitchell for 3. John Mitchell hits the tray, and it is an early 7-0 lead for the Chargers. Toombs had to pick up his dribble there, and then that one's saved right to Ross. One of the things, talking with both these staffs, said, you know, Corner Canyon's the more experienced team in a state tournament. Be interesting to see how that plays out, particularly in this early start at 9:30 a.m. tip.
Well, these 9 o'clock tips, this game is always such a crapshoot.
Well, there's no crap shooting for Corner Canyon right now. They're hot from the floor. 9-0 Chargers. Harris to answer. There it is. Will Harris able to hit the 3, the first points of the ball game for the Wasps.
Well, not to bring back any bad memories, but the last time Corner Canyon played in this building, now I can't remember if they played here last year in the first round because the split scene, but to my memory, it was the semifinal against Olympus, which they shot the lights out.
I was thinking for some reason they were at the U last year for that Highland game, but Those were the championships were, so maybe they were here last year.
I
can't
remember.
recall.
I couldn't remember where they were last year either. I don't remember having them at UVU unless it was one of the early games.
Toombs picking up the personal.
I know someone we could text you tell us.
I'm kind of surprised Dusty doesn't remember.
I'm trying to remember.
The Encyclopedia of Utah High School Sports.
That's why I think they were here last year.
There's no entry under Corner Canyon first round for 2018. Shot missed by Ethan Wood, and here's Toombs. Kick out Warnock, skip over with Mitchell. Pump fake got his man in the air, and now Toombs will try the three, far side. Gabe Toombs with a triple. 5 points for Gabe, the second made three in the ball game for Corner Canyon. That lead pushed back up to 9.
Gabe Toombs is such a threat. Young man that last year probably don't run a lot of offense for him because he would get it off of rebounds and hustle. And this year just really developed himself into a very consistent scorer.
That shot, a long rebound up the floor quickly to Ross, blocked away. Great recovery from Gehring.
And that's what you want to see if you're Coach Ballstead. It's a tough start to this ball game for your Wasps. You want to see that they still fighting them and just not going to concede that bucket and able to go Gehring to go right at the rim and get the block.
Welling from the junction, left it short. Wood with the rebound. Up the floor here, and Quincy White got fouled by John Mitchell, though the Charger bench, not big fans of that call. First one on Mitchell.
For Wasatch, this is a big possession. Got to find the bottom of the net in this possession. If that's hitting a shot or getting to the line and making a couple free throws, they've got to find some points.
And a travel. Good defense there by Warnock, just not giving any space for Will Harris to get that shot away and forced him to walk with it.
Number 2, Harris. Replacing Gabe Toombs.
Gabe Toombs going to come off the floor here. Substitution is Phil Harris. Another sophomore checks in for the Chargers. And now Wasatch with a little half-court pressure here.
One thing you got a bevy of in Draper is a lot of athletes, a lot of young athletes. This sophomore class in a lot of their sports are really, really athletic.
Here's Harris. Mitchell trying to defend him. Good take by Harris and a foul on John. That'll be the second on John.
Now, just to give you an idea how athletic the sophomore class is, they had the Spirit Bowl last week. And I have a good source who told me that the sophomores won the athletic contests of during the Spirit Bowl week.
Do you know what those include?
I can't remember.
Oh.
But he told me all of them. I don't recall. And he is a sophomore at Corner Canyon. That's why he told me.
That's a little pride, right? He was going around and kind of touting the Spirit Week stick or whatever the tradition is in Charger territory.
Yeah, all 4 years of it.
Yeah.
But in fact, that young sophomore is home rehabbing a surgery, so hopefully he's watching and listening. If he's not, he's got a family member that's a little frustrated with him. But great start here for Corner Canyon.
Here's Warnock. Goes up high with Harris, worked around. Warnock had a baseline runner and gets fouled by Wasatch on the play, so Luke Warnock will head to the line here to shoot 2.
That's the first personal on the first rebound.
Couldn't quite hear who the personal was on. Did you catch that, Dusty?
I did not catch it.
Might have been on Wood, but I'm not positive as Warnock makes the first.
I want to trust the board, but right now it's got a couple guys with 4 fouls.
And it's only updated one side. Second free throw for Warnock. Back of the rim.
A little chance here for Wasatch to get a bucket, get within 6. 3-pointer puts you within 5.
Tough shot here, bodied up by Harris and can't get the bucket to go. Here's Warnock, tried to save it, boy. Just lost and it'll stay here. They say that's last out off of Quincy White from Wasatch.
That's where some of these boys need to have Desiree and Lonnie Falatea teach them how to save the ball back into the court. I have never seen basketball players do that more consistently and more accurately than the Falatea sisters.
And for those of you snickering at home, I had a coach Text me was like, there are some boys that would struggle with the Falateas. They are that good, as Connor McKee able to get out on the run, and the first Wasatch player not named Will Harris to score today. Warnock on the other end. Just too easy right now for Corner Canyon.
Well, it's a nice answer there from Warnock, because Wasatch able to come down and get that bucket really quickly, but Corner Canyon not phased, gets it back.
Harris picked up his dribble to the corner, three-point shot on the way from Gehring, able to hit it.
And a positive sign the last couple possessions here for Wasatch. Gets a couple other guys, as you mentioned earlier, not named Nick Harris, get some buckets, and including a big three.
Will Harris.
Will Harris, sorry.
Nick Harris, of course, out at Pima right now, right?
Yeah,
playing
Peru.
football.
Peru State.
Trace Ross able to hit the three. My apologies, Peru. I said Pima. Knew it started with a P and was 4 letters. Anyway. Been a nice response from Wasatch. Here's Harris, straightaway three. Will Harris was said he can score the basketball, just a junior, and he's going to be a really, really good one. Already is for Coach Ballstead.
Well, you know, Coach Ballstead, you got to feel good when you take over a program. You got someone like Will Harris, and now in this moment to come play this well, the way he started, and that's something you know will carry on throughout this game, is when your best player gets going this early.
Boy, unselfish play there as a double team came up on Welling. He was able to dump it underneath, but the foul will be inbound for Corner Canyon as Connor McKee picks up the personal. That's his first. Second team foul on the Wasps. Corner Canyon with 4 of them here in our first quarter. Back inside to Warnock, and another foul. This one will be called on Will Harris. And this one was on the shot, so it will send Luke Warnock to the line.
Should note that the 5A Offensive Player in the Year during the football season's checked in, Mr. Cole Hagan.
First free throw for Warnock, front of the rim. Mr. Warnock now 1 of 3 from the line for Corner Canyon.
And these are things that Coach Lunt will drive you batty a little bit, because these are points later in the game, if Wasatch stays in it, that you're going to look back on and wish you had.
Second one good, so now 50% from the line today for Warnock. Far side, and traveling violation as Jude Baldstead, the junior, got caught shifting the feet.
Yeah, it's frustrating for Wasatch, seemingly finding a little bit of offensive rhythm, and to turn the ball over is a frustrating deal for Coach Ballstead.
Boy, they had Welling wide open underneath the basket. There it is again. Ballstead comes down to rotate, but Welling going to win that matchup 90% of the time, and 6 points in the first quarter for the senior Hayden Welling.
Yeah. And again, just some mistakes here for Wasatch. You feel like you found a little bit of something in the last few possessions, turn the ball over. You have the little brain cramp here on the other end of the floor, giving Welling a easy bucket. And Coach Ballstead to find a way to keep his troops in this one.
Mitchell kick out, 3-point try from Ross, no good. And it's Gehring up the floor for Wasatch. And a blocking foul going to be called here on Warnock. Thought it was a good call.
Yeah, nice strong take, got Warnock on the side.
One of the tough things, I mean, it's Wasatch getting out in transition. He actually had Isaac Burton out ahead of everybody, but he stayed along the edge. If he's able to get to the rim, you've got a 2-on-1 situation. Instead, it's to the line here, having to earn him as McKee makes the first, has one more coming. Second one good.
Yeah, good to see some of the faithful from Heber City making it in to the D Event Center.
I was joking with Coach Ballstead before the game. I said, what, you had to get up at, 2 a.m. to make it up here in time for this early tip?
No, it was only 4.
Yeah. It's like, oh, we just take the back route. It's only like an hour. Clock down to 35 left here in our first quarter. Wasatch has done a nice job of hanging in this ball game, but they've struggled on this end of the floor to get good stops. Corner Canyon has taken off the last 30 seconds of this first quarter. That one wouldn't go down, and it's Ballstead coming out with it. Gets it off in time, good if it goes, it does! Jude Ballstead able to beat the horn, and a big time stop for Wasatch, and points on the other end, and after the first, it's 21-17, the Corner Canyon Chargers with the lead after the first quarter. You're watching the 5A state tournament on live.ksl and DeseretNews.com.
Knowing more about good nutrition can lead to success on the court and in the classroom. The Dairy Farm families of Utah and Dairy West are proud to sponsor the Utah High School Activities Association state tournaments. Mountain America Credit Union is proud to be the new-town sponsor for the Utah High School Activities Association. Visit MACU.com for more information. And thank you, Mountain America. Visit the shirt stop to pick up your state hoodies, t-shirts, and hats on the concourse of the event center. For retail quality screen printing, embroidery, or promotional products, be sure to reach out to the folks at the shirt stop here at the event center. It will be Wasatch ball to begin the second quarter.
Welcome back in. I had the score incorrect. It's 21-18 as Ballstead, that was a three-pointer. I think I got caught by the old purple-white trick. Ballstead able to hit the three, and it's a one-possession game as we start the second here. Wasatch basketball to the corner, and this is a three-pointer from Gehring that's no good, and it's numbers on the other end for Corner Canyon. John Mitchell doing like he's done all year long, well, for years now in multiple sports, just using his speed to get around everybody in the finish.
Yeah, future SUU T-Bird, Johnny Mitchell. And maybe now some of these guys wish they had accepted offers to Dixie State. So it might be Division I here pretty soon. You know, but you look at the end of that quarter, Dane, just to kind of answer your question, it's because you saw the ball leave Ballstead's hand after he crossed the three-point line, but he had leapt outside the three-point line.
Don't tell me what I saw, Dusty.
It's what we do in the media. I'll tell you what you saw and what you think.
Oh, well done. Well done. We got a foul. This will be the third team foul, I believe, on Wasatch. As it is Jude Ballstead picking up his first. Fourth team foul, my apologies. Welling from just beyond the line, and I'll tell you what, Hayden Welling is dialed in.
It's end of February, nearly March, which means Hayden Welling's going to play really, really well. Remember the last year's state tournament, and what a great pick and roll there. Stockton Malone be proud of that pick and roll. But back to that thought, Hayden Welling was so good in the state tournament last year, and had such a terrific year, or that great run last year. Not surprised he's playing well today.
Underneath, they'll kick it back up top. Inside, Welling once again, and he's already got 10.
Hayden Welling, no Mama Welling's going to be very proud of this start here for Hayden.
Inside, nice take by Harris. Also with 10 now.
You got to be impressed with the way that Wasatch continues to respond in this game, Dane.
And that one turned over.
Coach Ballstead told us, you know, things didn't finish the way he wanted to, but he felt like they're playing good basketball. And certainly have continued that today.
Well, a tough take there from Gehring, and a foul going to be called. As they're going to get Ross with the personal. He didn't love it. The second personal now on Trace.
You know, one of the things that these Wasps are going to learn about the state tournament is that you've got to pay attention to early parts of the game of how it's going to be called, and you got to adapt to it. Because a one-and-done situation, the best thing you can do is play to the guys who control the game, which are the officials. So take a little note. They're going to call touch stuff. Make sure your jab, pump fake, get a jab inside and see if you can get a call.
Harris will come in the ball game for Warnock as Ross will stay on, having just picked up his second. And at the line here, Gehring. Second attempt is good. It was a good play by Lance Gehring, able to create some space and then use that arm to try to get around the defender, draw the call. And we're back to one possession again. No one stops the basketball. John Mitchell to the rim.
Yeah, if you're not going to stop it and make it hard, Johnny Mitchell's just going to get his, he's going to get his all day today.
Good high screen, allows for a three from Harris. That might have been deflected. It's coming the other way. Now it's Mitchell's numbers for Corner Canyon inside to Welling. 12 points for Hayden Welling and a timeout taken. Full timeout. We'll be back. 5:29 left here in the first half. You're watching the 5A state tournament on live.ksl and DeseretNews.com.
Stats and standings are available at MatchSports.com, the official stats partner of the UHSAA.
Welcome back here to the D Events Center. First round action in the 5A state tournament. And tell you what, Corner Canyon, I mean, Dusty, they in that 3 to 6 range, Wasatch won't go away, but it feels like Corner Canyon feels as though they can get buckets pretty much whenever they need them. They've done a good job of getting to the rim.
Well, they haven't done anything to prove that that's not true, the way that this first half has gone. But if you're a Corner Canyon fan that was frustrated by the way the end of this regular season went, you just got to remember that it's almost March, and that's when this team's starting to play its best basketball.
Well, if you're a Corner Canyon fan, remember last year in that first round of the state tournament, they were 16 minutes away from going home in the first round. In the second half against that Highland team, they looked like a totally different team that created a bunch of steam, and I mean, they're playing well here in the first half of this one, though. Coach Lump before the game said, look, it's all about our defense. If we defense and rebound, we're a good team. If we don't, then we're average. And I think you could point to moments in this first half where they've been average and points where they've been good, and that's maybe where they can separate themselves from the Wasps.
Well, remembering the part is that within a game, basketball's a game of runs, and so to be able to withstand a little bit of the spurts here from Wasatch and keep your wits about you.
Well, that's a tough inbound to Connor McKee, and does a great job to just get that one up and able to find the bottom of the net. 31-26 here. In the corner, three-pointer from Toombs. Gabe Toombs again. 8 points now for Mr. Toombs.
Maybe my memory isn't as good as I think it is. I don't remember Gabe shooting the three ball that consistently and that confidently last year.
He's got 2 of them already in this one. The lead pushed up to 8. Wood will kick out. Three-point try on the way from Maxwell. Britton Maxwell. His first points of the ball game, and he has the answer for Wasatch. Inside, Welling, good take to the rim. And you know, here's one of the things, I haven't seen a ton of Corner Canyon this year, but you look at this game, even compared to last year, Hayden Welling is attacking the rim in this ball game.
Well, remember, Welling did that all last year. I mean, all last state tournament, I should say.
Felt like until that state championship.
Yeah, he was absolutely attacking. Remember, in the semifinal, I think he had 34 points. But he's certainly a young man. If he stays aggressive that way, that good things will happen. It's almost, being a lifelong Jazz fan. That's what we always say about Carl Malone. If Carl just continues to attack the rim, good things will happen. If he settles for the 20-footer, everything changes.
Right there, Ethan Wood able to get the rebound and the putback. And you talk about Carl Malone attacking the rim. He would attack it so much, he cut his hand. Take it easy, man. That thing's made of metal.
Well, you had to do that to get over Sean Kemp back in the day.
Why you got to be like that?
I was a compliment to Sean Kemp.
Nice spin move by Toombs, but just left. I still say Peyton and Kemp were by far the most entertaining duo.
Yeah, if you like alley-oops and stuff.
Foul here called on Quincy White.
Us meat and potatoes like to bounce pass off a pick and roll, you know, and an optional dunk here and there.
Yeah, you go watch some of those Peyton Kemp highlights. Oh, man. High flying, man. Woo. It's good stuff.
In fact, I'm interested to see, again, we haven't got to see a ton of Corner Canyon this year. Their student production done a good job covering all that. But do you think of Hayden Welling be able to go down the lane that way?
Well, at that time he received it from Gabe Toombs, and Welling now with 10 in the quarter, 16 in the contest, and it's Welling with the block on the defensive end. Toombs for three.
Oh, my heavens.
And right now, Corner Canyon just separating themselves. The lead pushed up to 10. Oh, what a finish by Will Harris. I don't know, one, how he gets that past Mitchell, and two, over a leaping Welling.
How about the last 30 seconds of this game? You want to know the difference between the 6A and 5A tournaments? Day one, game one, that was it, the last 35 seconds. 6A became a grinded out game, almost every game. And here at 5A, at least the first half of the first game of day one.
We're up and down the floor, man. This is awesome. It's 41-34. We still got 2 minutes left in the first half. We had 6A games yesterday that barely got to this point.
Right.
That one couldn't tell. Wood certainly altered it, but then Wasatch throws it away.
Yeah, I got caught in between on that outlet pass, and you got to be sure of where you're going with the basketball before you go to commit. But yeah, you know, to steal an old cheerleader's a cheer, we don't mess around, we just get down. I mean, that's what 5A is right now, at least in this one.
Welling. Looking underneath. Boy, somehow that ball got through traffic, and then it's blocked away from Warnock. Wasatch on the run. Mr. Maxwell back up top.
This is where you, if you're Coach Ballstead, defense needs to lead the offense.
Here's Wood. Now a drive high off the glass, too strong. Offensive rebound, the putback won't go, tapped out, but it can't be secured. Oh, well, what a save.
Oh my
Will
heavens.
Harris looks like Corner Canyon off to the races. Maxwell a three. Back of the rim. Another offensive keep for Wasatch. Harris. And it falls to Quincy White. What a sequence for the Wasps.
Oh my heavens, but the play of that whole sequence is Will Harris sitting on his seat and able to get the steal.
Boy, Harris picked it away from behind, and then Wood tried to lead him. I got a little too anxious there. And Coach Lunt, I think, probably gonna say, hey, let's take that last shot here.
Yeah, let's take advantage of no shot clock in Utah High School basketball at the moment.
Hey, way to work it in from that different position, Dusty.
We have
He's a man of many talents.
We haven't had to worry about it in this game, but we didn't even hear. But yeah, there's no reason not to take the final shot here if you're Coach Lunt.
7 seconds. Toombs. Boy, that one rolled off, and the way he shot, had to feel like that one's probably good. This one good if it goes from Maxwell. Britton Maxwell hits a three at the horn. The Wasps close out the first quarter and the second quarter with threes, and it's 41-39 at the break. The Chargers with the lead. Halftime here in the first round of the 5A Boys State Tournament. You're watching it live on live.ksl and DeseretNews.com.
Whether you're a parent, coach, or student athlete, more and more about good nutrition can lead to success on the court and in the classroom. The Dairy Farm Families of Utah and Dairy West are proud to sponsor the Utah High School Activities Association state tournaments. Want to learn more about dairy and nutrition? Visit dairywest.com. And now please welcome the Corner Canyon cheerleaders. attention, please, when the scorekeepers for Highland and Bountiful, please bring your books to the head table. Highland and Bountiful scorekeepers, please bring your books to the head table. Get $75 when you open a MyStyle checking account at Mountain America Credit Union. Stats and standings are available at MaxPreps.com, the official stats partner of the UHSAA. Today's game is being streamed live online and will be available for replay at live.ksl.com.
Ready to start our second half here from the D Event Center. First round action in the boys 5A state tournament. Corner Canyon and Wasatch, our first game of the day. And Dusty, boy, that first half left you wanting for more, huh?
Made me glad that the 5A tournament is here, is what it did. I mean, what a great end of that half. Wasatch didn't have their best half, but they closed out the first and second quarters the way that Coach Ballstead would dream that they would close them out. And 2 buzzer beaters. So if this game comes down to a buzzer beater, I think we all feel a little confident in Wasatch at the moment.
And I should clarify, by wanting for more, I mean wanting more of what we have seen. It has been a fantastic start.
Big thing for Wasatch is, can he come out of the locker room with the same intensity and focus?
Yes. How about Lance Gehring hitting the 3 in the first lead of the ball game to the Wasps, coming just 30 seconds into the second half.
I mean, you don't want to overstate what one shot can mean, but for Wasatch, who were up and down in that first half, to get that buzzer beater at the end there, and then I'll hit that 3 to take the lead, it means a lot to the boys in black.
Boy, strong take by Toombs, but Corner Canyon couldn't get the rebound. Wasatch does, and the Wasps on the offensive end now. Gehring again. That one just off the side, and the rebound secured by Warnock.
And for Corner Canyon, there's so many guys to go to. Gabe Toombs had a terrific first half. Hayden Welling had a great first half. I mean, Welling with 16 first half points. Looking like the Hayden Welling of 2018.
Toombs with the contact and the finish, the foul on Harris. It'll be the second personal on Will, and Gabe Toombs heading to the line here.
You know, I talked about in the first half that Gabe Toombs is someone that came out of nowhere to become the guy, or a guy on that team last year. He was the most consistent guy a year ago.
Yeah.
And not surprising you go to 32 when you need a bucket here.
Boy, the free throw wouldn't go, and Corner Canyon surprisingly missing a couple shots here to start this second half.
Well, matter for Corner Canyon, just staying in this. And Coach Lunt told us the barometer for this team is their defense.
Tried to step through a trio of Chargers. That ball lost out, and it'll stay here.
Corner Canyon going to be a little happy that ball went out of bounds because he had a wide open corner tray.
Yes, he did. And the way Wasatch just shot the 3, the best thing Corner Canyon would have had going for him on that play was that the clock wasn't inside of 3 seconds.
Right.
Good defense by Warnock as Harris able to pass out over with Quincy White. Wood dribbles out. Gets the switch, Wood to the rim, blocked by Welling. Corner Canyon on the run. Ross for 3. That one was short, couldn't tell if it got blocked or not.
I don't know if it got deflected. I think Trey set that a little short.
Pull up, Welling definitely blocked that one. He's been active today. Couple blocks for Hayden Welling.
Hayden, I love the state tournament Welling. I mean, my goodness gracious.
Toombs worked around.
And again, biggest thing for both these teams is the defensive end of the floor.
Toombs, the 3 was short, and that's out off of Warnock. It'll head back to Wasatch.
So Wasatch coming out with a lot of focus in this third quarter. I mean, this was the beginning of the game where Corner Canyon came out just guns a-blazing, and Wasatch able to withstand that initial run and been able to settle in this game. And right now, Dane, I just feel like momentum's on their side. 3
from White, able to hit it. Boy, that's a great high screen by Wood. They get it back to him, and then the kick out, White able to hit the 3. A pair of triples for Wasatch to start this second half.
And now for Corner Canyon, where do you want to go for this bucket? I think you got to work this ball 32 and 13.
They tried, but 13 couldn't bring it in, and it's another turnover. And the longer you leave Wasatch in this ball game, Dusty, the tighter you feel like things are going to come. Here's a 3 from Harris. Someone get some water. The Wasatch Wasps are ablazing from beyond the arc. It's a 48-43 lead. Timeout, Corner Canyon. We'll take it with them. Be back.
Jimmy Jones, responsible of the Utah High School Activities Association. Stop by your nearest Jimmy Jones and try the new 9-grain wheat flour, made with the best of the best ingredients and baked fresh daily. Now available at Jimmy John's Station. Free Jazz, Jimmy John's. Visit MaxPreps.com for stat schedules, rosters, and more. Max Preps, America's source for high school sports. Corner Canyon substitutions, number 2, Phil Harris. And number 4,
4:33 left here in the third quarter, 48-43. And Dusty, the last 4 shots from the floor for Wasatch have all been threes. Who says this isn't a shooter's gym?
You know, we were talking with Coach Ballstead, and you made a comment of, you know, three's a great equalizer, right? Well, there it is. Not even an equalizer. It is
the advantage.
Absolutely. When you got it going, and Wasatch does, I mean, this is what happens. Get a 5-point lead in a game that you were hoping to be in.
Zone defense here, and a good job of collapsing down that time as Wasatch was trying to sell it, but we'll stay here with Corner Canyon.
Coach Ballstead says something really, one of my favorite lines from the morning. He goes, you know, we haven't been here before. He goes, Corner Canyon knows exactly where they're heading. Their guys are telling them where to go. He's like, our guys, we don't know which door we're going to.
So the bus had to drive around to look for the entrance. He said, you know, I think that maybe favors us a little bit as long as we don't get too big-eyed, and they certainly haven't been, as Harris able to take it to the rack. And Will Harris now with 18.
Yeah, those initial moments of this game, they were a little big-eyed, and since then, the rim's just gotten bigger.
Boy, and if you're a Corner Canyon, I don't think you're going to love that call. Ethan Wood forces Warnock to the boundary. Maybe could have gotten away, I think, a little bit with a block there, but instead it's out of play. Do you agree or disagree, Dusty?
Yeah,
I think he takes away the lane. I guess that's what I would say.
I mean, you got to use that baseline as another defender, and I think it's exactly what he did.
So you have no problem with it?
No, I don't.
All right. And right now, the Wasps are on a run. It's a 13-4 third quarter for Wasatch.
And for Corner, they got to find a way to stem the tide, and it's about making solid plays.
There's a turnover.
Yeah, that's one where John went a little too hard on that one. You leave that for Gabe, a nice little touch pass. Gabe lays that in, and he put a little too much on it.
I'll tell you, talking with Coach Ballstead, he said, we want to change the tempo. There are times we're going to push it. There's times we're going to slow it down. And you can see Corner Canyon now starting to feel the pressure and trying to play beyond themselves a little bit, allowing that speed to get to them just a touch here in the third. Able to get it up the floor, and there's Warnock with a good finish, and that will quell the run.
Now this is where, as a coach, Coach Lunt knows his team. He's like, look, we have got to play defense or we'll be average. So you got to play on this end of the floor, and it will fuel the offense. And sometimes the young kids, it's hard to get that through their head, especially in the middle of a game, that if you take care of the defensive end, it'll make your offense better.
3 from Mitchell. 5 straight points now for Corner Canyon. And they claw back to one possession here, 52-50 for the number 3 seed out of Region 8.
And that's the way you want your threes. Get those passes with the trailer coming. That's like an inside-out pass, and John able to walk right into that one.
Pump fake and a travel.
Yeah, that's a good call. Knew he wanted the shot and just couldn't quite get it up and just kept moving his feet.
And I like the idea to try to go at him. He's got 2 personals. So does Mitchell, and you know, if you can get that 3, although we are late here in the third, I don't know if it would force a player off the floor. As that one deflected, able to make its way through to Toombs, over with Warnock, and Corner Canyon now settling in. Welling, little 6-footer off the glass. Got to get that young man going here in the second half.
Well, that's the ball movement, right? John Mitchell tried to find that with Gabe Toombs earlier and went a little too hot. That one was that same pass, nice little touch pass. Hayden catches it right in the pocket.
Another steal. Up ahead for Warnock, too far, but able to save it to Toombs. Fall away won't go, and where's Harris with the rebound.
Fortunate there for Wasatch.
Transition 3, that shot maybe taken a little quicker than Wasatch would have liked, but thrown away. Well, Toombs to the floor. Able to keep it for Corner Canyon.
Give it to Coach Lunt for not taking the timeout. His team has got momentum, and there's a turnover.
Ah, it's a foul. Mitchell, number 3 on the guard.
And they're saying his elbow came up when he's posting up. And John's like, I'm just trying to get room. Like I wasn't going after him.
The winner of this will advance to the quarters to take on the winner of our next game, Highland and Bountiful. That should be a doozy one as well. Highland playing well late in the year. Bountiful, I think one of the teams on a short list of legit contenders, is a three-pointer here, front of the rim, and Wasatch can't keep it. It'll go back to Corner Canyon, and that team that started shooting the ball so well here in the second half gone a little cold here.
Well, that's where this game right now, you still think the momentum or the opportunity to win this game is still in the hands of Corner Canyon. Their offense is getting to the rim and scoring. Wasatch built that lead on threes and momentum shots, and that lasts for a while, and it's going to go a little bit dry. And the most consistent thing is what Corner Canyon does well. That's move the basketball and get shots around the painted area.
It's a 7-0 run for the Chargers. Here over the last couple minutes of the third quarters, here is Welling going up, missed it. And the rebound secured by Harris, is Welling now putting some pressure on in the backcourt.
And it's imperative for Wasatch to get a solid possession here. Travel.
I was surprised that Ballstead kept on that drive. Maybe thought you take a step in and then pull it out and try to set something up. But you see that path to the rim, and then the big Welling comes over and just get ahead of yourself.
Yeah, and he was still waiting for something to happen. I think he was waiting for someone to come to the hole, or do I put it in the air? And the young man just got, if he wasn't thinking, he wouldn't have thought that, to steal a phrase.
Yeah. 52 apiece, 15 seconds left. Warnock. Inside to Toombs. Won't go down for Gabe. Look out. Oh, they won't get it off. That one won't count. Wood tried to beat the clock but couldn't get it off. Third quarter closed, and we're essentially where we started. Tied up as we head to the fourth. Coming up next here on live.ksl and DeseretNews.com.
For athletes to perform their best, they require the best. And that's what Wilson has delivered for over 100 years. Learn more at wilson.com.
Start of the fourth quarter here at the D Event Center. You know what they say, Dusty, the best part of waking up is Wasatch and Corner Canyon in the first round of the 5A state tournament.
In your cup? That's what you were going to go with?
Nah, I was just going to forget the rhyme.
No, we were just saying off camera that this kind of game is put you in a good mood for the day, and these two teams are laying it out on the floor.
Warnock now with Toombs. Back to the middle, and Toombs, after a really great first half, had 11 in the first half, just 2 in that third quarter, as Mitchell able to save that, but does it to the wrong side. Harris, the corner three, no good, and Toombs with the rebound.
Now Wasatch cannot fall in love with that three-point shot.
Yeah.
Like, if you do, you're going to lose this ball game.
Toombs from the corner, able to hit it. That's a three for Gabe Toombs.
Is that his fourth, Dane?
I think it is. I don't keep track of how many threes, but he's got 16, and I think it is his fourth.
I mean, Gabe is that guy. We talked about it. He became the clutch guy a year ago. Welling will steal the headlines, but Gabe Toombs will be the foundation of that headline, and he's continued that here today.
Good ball movement to get it to Wood. And it's one of those things, Dusty, where, quick timeout here, 30 seconds, we'll finish that. Actually, we'll stay here. It's one of those things where you could see that Wasatch, and you talked about, not falling in love with the three, but the presence of Welling on the inside in this ballgame, he's got a number of blocks. You almost feel like they're hesitant to take it inside too much, at that time able to work the ball enough to bring Welling out and allow some space underneath.
Well, that's how you do it. You got to get him to move, and you're not going to get him to move because you're taking the outside shot. That doesn't help you. But getting him out of the painted area, sneaking someone behind him is the way to do it. Also want to remind you that our scoreboard brought to you by Heinemann and Associates. They are dedicated to winning for their clients, no matter if you need help with drafting a will to take care of your estate planning, protect your business, or even a personal injury. They are a full-service law firm, and they want to win for you. Give them a call at 801-472-7742. And we want to thank Justin Heinemann and Associates for being a part of what we're doing this week here, covering all 30 5A and 6A games here on live.ksl and DeseretNews.com.
Awesome. And if you're interested in a sponsorship of Deseret News Rewind, hey, just get a hold of us on Twitter at DNews Rewind, and we'll be happy to send you the information. 6:20 left here, fourth quarter. Inside to Welling, and a double team coming down. Boy, tough finish for Welling as he draws the contact here from Connor McKee, and I think that's going to be number 2 on McKee.
That's for Coach Lunt. A great decision. Hayden Welling hasn't gotten going here in the second half. In fact, I don't think he scored here in the third quarter.
He did have one bucket.
One bucket. So go get him on the block and let him go to work.
Good on his first attempt here from the line. And that's the remarkable thing. I mean, you look at this Corner Canyon team, and through 3 quarters, Welling had 18, Toombs with 16, Mitchell with 12. Ross and Warnock, the only other players to score for Corner Canyon, a combined 9. And a team that usually has pretty good depth of scoring. In this first round, it's been really 3 guys that have carried the majority of the load. Corner 3, that one no good, and the rebound is to Welling.
And for Corner Canyon, it's just continue to have solid possessions. Right now, Wasatch gone cold from the outside, just solid possessions, so you can withstand the next run that comes from the Wasps.
Toombs nearly lost it and then threw it away. Isaac Burton checking back in here for Wasatch as Britton Maxwell heading to the bench. Nice lob, and it's Toombs able to poke that away from McKee, and then, boy, overran it. Toombs to the floor, able to keep it alive here for Corner Canyon, but you got to be near a 10-second count. Just able to get it across. Toombs, and the foul there as he drew the contact, and Gabe Toombs now ahead to the line.
And Gabe just continuing to be the guy in the middle of everything for Corner Canyon. And I don't want to beat a dead horse, although I'm from Carbon County.
That's what they do.
Yeah. Wasatch has got to find ways to get points in the paint. And the other end of the floor for Corner Canyon, if it's not at 13 and 32 to do not touch the ball down the block, it is a mistake. Because they will either get a bucket or they're going to get to the line, more than likely.
Only 3 team fouls on Wasatch, only 1 on the Chargers in this second half. So we're a ways away from free throws. And Dusty, I apologize, there's no wood for me to knock on. So we'll have to hope that the officials didn't hear that.
So it's been a cleanly played second half, well, game.
Yeah.
I mean, 13 team fouls combined in the first half, only 4 thus far here in the second half.
Well, that time Burton tried to get a pass just around to McKee and turned it over, and it's Gabe Toombs with the floater. 4 straight points for Toombs, a game high 20.
Gabe turned it on here in the second half. Just doing all the things for CC.
Couldn't answer, back of the rim, and boy, this is a good run put on by the Chargers. It was, what, 52-45, a 15-2 run.
Well, you mentioned it last year, that second win in the halftime against Highland down, and it turned things around. How about the end of the third quarter, kind of waking up the Chargers?
Mitchell, nice hesitation, able to take it to the rim. John Mitchell with 2 more.
That's John being an athlete. And Corner Canyon starting to feel a little more comfortable and a lot more confident.
Full timeout, 4:20 left. We'll take it with him. You're watching the 5A state tournament on live.ksl and DeseretNews.com.
For retail quality screen printing, embroidery, or promotional products, reach out to the folks at the shirt stop at the Event Center today. The Deseret News is the title sponsor for the Academic All-State Award. Each year, the Utah High School Activities Association sponsors an Academic All-State team to recognize those young men and women who have excelled in the classroom as well as on the court. The Deseret News is joined with the UHSAA as title sponsor. To view this year's Academic All-State winners, please visit UHSAA.org.
.420 left here in regulation. The Wasps trying to start off the first day of the 5A state tournament with a headliner, but they've got some work to do after Corner Canyon been on a big run here at the end of the third and start of the fourth.
Well, Corner Canyon didn't win the championship last year, but they learned what it took to get to the championship game, and you're starting to see that medal here in the fourth quarter.
Great defense by Warnock to shut down the drive by Harris. Get this in with Ethan Wood. Boy, tough pass over. Count the bucket from McKee, and the foul on Toombs, the third on Gabe.
I think Wasatch says, well, they might not learn how to get there, but we'll still battle. Their stinger's not gone yet for the Wasps.
I'm not certain how that pass was able to be fit through. I thought Corner Canyon had good positioning on it. And it's McKee, but he couldn't hit the free throw, and John Mitchell able to sky to secure the rebound.
You got to make point. You got to score points at the clock stop. Big miss there for Wasatch.
Toombs in the corner, able to pass out. Welling from 8.
That looks like that second quarter, doesn't it? Move the ball. Welling just inside the free throw line.
Harris, a high screen there by Wood, gives it back to him on the roll to the rack, and just wouldn't go down. Came off the front of the rim for Ethan Wood.
That's a tough miss for Wasatch. It leads to a little bit of a frustration foul.
Foul on Harris, his third. Will Harris with 18 has not scored in the fourth quarter.
Well, Wasatch gone cold since taking that lead, 52-45.
Yep.
Scored 4 points since that point. 19-4.
Warnock, and another foul on Harris. This will be number 4.
Foul number 35, Harris of the Wasps.
3:01 left here.
That's the fourth personal on Harris in the 15.
You got to let him roll. He just got to be smart.
And with how Wasatch just shot the ball today, I mean, they can get themselves right back in this ball game really quickly. But it goes back to the issue in that first half, and it was getting defensive stops. As that one gets past McKee, take by Toombs, can't get it, and Welling is fouled as he goes up. This will be number 3, excuse me, the first on Ethan Wood.
Great take there by Toombs, and that's what happens. And when you attack the rim, your guys are coming with it. So Toombs goes right to the rim, doesn't finish, but it brings Welling to the rim as well, and Hayden gets fouled trying to get that putback.
My apologies, the second on Ethan Wood. As Welling makes the first, and his second good as well. 23 now for Hayden Welling. Harris, that one lost off a foot, and a dual possession going to be called here. Corner Canyon was trying to get the timeout, but Harris alertly jumped on it.
Well, it's still Corner Canyon basketball. And right now, Corner Canyon closing this thing out, Dane. Solid offensive possessions, but solid defense as well.
And a lead push back up to 10. And you're right, there's been great pressure and contest on shots and just not a lot of room for Wasatch to work on the offensive end.
We got to get it across, just do.
And that one nearly intercepted, nearly saved, but it'll stay here with the Chargers.
So you got to be impressed with Corner Canyon. I mean, impressed with Wasatch, and we'll speak to that because of what they're able to do in this ball game. But impressive for Corner Canyon to keep their wits about them and to not let this game get away. Trailing by 7, and every bit of momentum was sitting in black and gold.
Yeah.
And they were able to stem the tide and turn it. You take a 7-point deficit, turn it into a 10-point lead. That takes a lot of resolve and a terrific job by these seniors.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where momentum very real.
Right.
And you could feel it in the gym. There's like, oh man, Wasatch is rolling now. And the way they came out and shot for Corner Canyon to be able to circle the wagons, right, and to get back to what they do speaks a lot to this team. And I think this team, you think back to last year, and it felt like that team had the pieces to contend, but never really put it together until the state tournament. This team, I think, all year long has been much better over the course of the year. A couple of really tough losses on last-second buzzer beater to Jordan. But I think maybe a little coming into the state tournament with a little more momentum this year than they had in previous years, and I think they're playing like it here early on as Gabe Toombs called for the travel.
Some would argue it's almost identical because remember last year they lost to 3 of the last 4 times they played Jordan, they lost at a buzzer beater.
That is true. That is true.
It is eerily similar, but I'll tell you, having been a coach and have similar things happen, and you can almost just duplicate it because you've already been there. What you're able to do as a coach is say, guys, we were already here. Which team are you? Are you the team that folds, or are you the team that really knuckles under and goes after it and pushes themselves to a state championship game?
30-second timeout. We'll take it with him. Be back with the final 2:16 here in the first round of the 5A state tournament.
Visit MaxPreps.com for stat schedules, rosters, and more. MaxPreps, America's source for high school sports.
Wasatch basketball, they get it in with Harris, and again, that one dribble off the foot and over and back, and now the official's going to talk. I think Harris saying it went off of Mitchell.
I thought it was pretty clear to went off of Mitchell. Coach Lunt saying he pulled it through, but I thought that was that the defender hit the ball. But then again, I'm looking through a lens, and so do you agree or disagree?
I actually wasn't looking. I was looking at something else. So I'm going to go with the officials on this one.
Where's our intern? We let our intern go to California for something, and now we don't have a replay. And hopefully he's watching.
These interns think they run the show. Pull up. That one won't go down. And an offensive rebound there by Gehring, and then a foul call here on the baseline, and Welling, I think, going to pick this up. No, they give it to Harris. I thought I saw Welling throw that hand in the air like that was mine. Anyway, Harris, a 3. Finally able to get a 3 to drop here in the 4th quarter. What does the defense have in store? A foul, and if this is on Harris, that's number 5, and it looks like it is.
He should have got himself out of the way on that one. Let's be honest. I'm not all for being selfish or anything like that. You're the best shooter on this team, and if you're going to make a run down the stretch, you got to be on the floor. But what a great game, but a terrific year for Harris.
Great year for Harris, and again, just a junior. He'll be back next year for Coach Ballstead, and a lot of this team returning. Gehring a junior, McKee a junior, Ballstead a junior, Maxwell a junior, White a junior. I mean, Ethan Wood is one of the few seniors on this roster, but you're right, and I think, you look at what Wasatch was able to do this year, and this is a squad that next year is going to be reckoned with.
And let's remember, no Skyridge in this region next year.
Yep. There's both free throws good for Warnock. 68-59. Wood trailing on the play, able to lay it up and good. Ethan Wood now with 4 in the quarter, 8 points in the contest, and a timeout taken by Wasatch. Full timeout. We'll be back after this.
Substitution for the Chargers, number 3, Trace Ross. Today's event is being streamed live online and are available for replay at any time at live.ksl.com.
Corner Canyon basketball here with 1:38 left. Will Harris is fouled out. And they get a steal. Gearing a 3. Well, that one would have made it really interesting had that gone down.
Yeah.
Instead, it's a rebound for John Mitchell, and we'll walk down to take free throws.
That's one of those ones Gearing's going to be thinking about. And it's not that it was a bad shot or anything like that. I mean, great shot. Yeah. It's just what could have been.
Yep.
Depending on what happens, especially here. It's like, man, if I just made that, we get it to 4 points, a minute and a half left.
It's still not over.
At all.
But I mean, that would have made it 2 possessions. And again, does that pressure start to sink in for Corner Canyon as John Mitchell able to hit the first end of the 1-and-1?
Yeah, not for Johnny Mitchell. This young man, that state championship football game, throw the ball up to number 1, let him go get it, go do the work, and he did. This kid knows what it's like to be in pressure situations.
Goes 1 of 2.
But you really only need to split him down the stretch. Let's be honest. To try to cover for Johnny.
I think that was his plan, right? Let's just get the clock running. Right?
Yeah.
Nice take. Count the bucket for McKee and the foul on Hayden Welling.
And a good job here for Wasatch. As we talked about it, this game isn't out of reach yet. You can keep going the hole. You get +1. You got to convert the free throws, however.
How about this? For as good as Hayden Welling has been today, 23 points. That's his first personal foul. Good minutes today for the senior. As McKee able to convert the 3-point play, and it's Corner Canyon out in front of everybody. Trace Ross.
Now, you can't take a deep breath if you're Wasatch. You make a bucket, you got to locate a guy. It's still a soccer term. You got to mark him.
That 3 from Maxwell, excuse me. Offensive rebound. Penetration won't go, and it's Welling coming up with it. 50 seconds left, a foul here on Ethan Wood, and that will likely do it.
Yeah. Just missed opportunities here for Wasatch, but let's be honest, and we're not moral victory guys. Never been to a state tournament. You're playing against a team that, you can say whatever seed they are. Maybe they're not playing great. Well, no, Corner Canyon knows exactly what they're getting themselves into. And that's Coach Ballstead understood that. And this is a team that had a 7-point lead in the second half that shot their way there and put a great run out of this Wasatch team this morning.
I mean, let's talk about the other thing. Coach Ballstead before the game said, this is the first time my team any of these players have played in a state tournament. First year for Coach Ballstead here at Wasatch, and to get them the number 3 seed out of a difficult Region 8, and to compete like they have today against this Corner Canyon team, look out for these Wasps. I mean, this is a program that I think you're going to see, especially next year with how many returners they have, really compete for the top of their region and look to put together runs. We've got a full-time out here with 40 seconds left. We'll take it with them, be back with the conclusion of the first round of the 5A Boys State Tournament. 48 seconds left. First round, and how about the job of the crew today? The officials have been pretty good in this ball game, I think. Done a nice job of allowing some play and some freedom, and have kept it under a good watch. Nice job today by our crew.
Oh, absolutely. I think they've, this has been a game decided by players, not by officials.
Yeah. I didn't want to name names. I don't know if they like that or not, but.
They named them before the game.
Well, I've got the sheet, Dusty. Are you voting for the naming of names?
No, we don't need to do that.
All right. But hats off.
No, absolutely.
Good crew today.
Terrific job. And a lot of it, let's do this. They understood it. They saw how these two teams were going to play. If that's how it went. Remember I said earlier, we're media, we tell you what you thought.
Yeah.
They saw how these two teams were going to play, and they called the game accordingly.
Yeah. First free throw, able to drop for Harris. And that's his first point of the day.
You know, that 6A tournament yesterday turned back the page to 2005, 2006. Well, we got to call a little more physical because that's how you're going to play it. Today, up and down the floor, hey, we'll let a free-flowing game go. They got their steps in for the day. I'm sure the pedometers are right where they were hoping they would be. And went along for the ride.
Group of Wasatch going to come off the floor. A lot of the starters coming off, and some of these fans on their feet cheering for their Wasps. We mentioned the last time that Ethan Wood will suit up. He is the only senior on this roster is Ethan Wood. The rest of these young men going to be returning for Wasatch, but a fantastic year will come to a close here in the first round of the 5A state tournament for Coach Ballstead and his Wasatch Wasps.
Yeah, I can't say it enough. I'm really, really impressed with what Wasatch did today. Because Corner Canyon, I got them going all the way, well, yeah, the semifinal against Olympus is what my bracket had. And
did you have them beating Bountiful?
I did.
Oh, okay. I did not. I had Bountiful in that game. Should be a great one if Bountiful can get past Highland, which is going to be a good one.
And here's what's awesome. We're going to mention this a lot in that broadcast. Sitting right just below us is the man, Coach Maxwell. Not Coach Maxwell, Bountiful Coach Maxwell.
Yeah.
Coach Maxwell's father, Coach Maxwell, who is a legend at Highland High School.
That three, no good. Offensive rebound. Maxwell, the shot won't go. And I would presume that Wasatch will just let this clock dribble down. 10 seconds left, get across the timeline, and the job now done. The Corner Canyon Chargers survived the scare. They trailed by 7 late in the third. They go on a run to close this one out and defeat the Wasatch Wasps 75-64. Dusty, your final thoughts and our player of the game.
Well, what a run out of Wasatch this morning. We've talked about this so much. These 9:30 games, you don't know what you're going to get. What we got today was a very focused and a very determined Wasatch team. Coach Ballstead should feel very, very good about what his team put out there today. But Coach Dan Lunt should be extremely impressed with what he got from his Chargers. That third quarter, they went in, figured things out, came out in the fourth quarter, played their game to get this win.
And your player of the game?
Gabe Toombs. Gabe Toombs is, I steal this all the time, as Reggie Jackson said, he's a straw that stirs the drink. And Gabe Toombs in big moments comes up big plays, and he did that today.
Congratulations to Gabe Toombs and the Corner Canyon Chargers on advancing to the quarterfinal of the 5A state tournament as they defeat Wasatch 75-64. For Dusty Lister, my name is Dane Stewart. Thank you for joining us. Reminder, we'll be here all day and all week coming to you from the D Event Center to bring you the 5A Boys State Tournament. Next up, Highland and Bountiful. That game set to tip in just under 20 minutes. We'll see you then. The Chargers pass the Wasps in the first round.